Hello and welcome back to HyzerMedia's coverage of the 2023 White Rose Open presented by MVP Disc Sports. This is the back nine of the final round. It's bound to be an exciting finish. Thank you to our supporting sponsors of this coverage, Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth by Dan Brooks-Wells.
How is it going? I'm excited for this back nine. And we're going to start it off on hole 10. This is a par 4, 537. This hole's sponsored by the Glen Rocks Disc Golf Club. It was extremely windy on this hole. And there's an OB road on the left side and trees to get caught up on the right side. So it feels like an open shot, and it is, but it can be a little hairy.
Yeah, this is one of those holes in calm conditions. It's a must-get birdie, and playing into a headwind just makes it quite tricky. Still very gettable at only 537 feet, but your upshot, you want to put it close.
Yeah, you can see the wind kind of flip Dylan's discs right there, and he gets caught up in the trees, but he'll be in an all right position.
Yep, here's Nathan. If you didn't watch the front nine, he is an all forehand player. So he's going to go with the forehand off the tee, puts it in the middle. It'll work out just fine.
Yeah, and if you didn't watch the front nine, go watch that first.
Then what are you doing?
What's going on here? Matt decided to look at Dylan's line. He said he beefed up, but the wind just takes hold of it and was surprising. He was surprised to see it flip that much.
Yeah, those right side trees come in quick if your disc turns over. I think most players are just trying to, aim for the trees knowing that your disc is going to fade left. But yeah, once the disc takes it and flips it, there's no coming back.
Yeah, and I saw that, so I threw the most overstable thing in my bag, which is a patent pending nitro, and that flew a little bit straighter than I'm used to it flying.
Yeah, still a great shot though. Puts you in the middle of the fairway. That's a tough forehand to commit to with the OB road on the left. He'd really have to hang it out wide, and into a headwind, it's tough to trust that your disc isn't going to flip over.
Yeah, Matt here, he ended up going with a mid range, and I was talking to him about this shot. It's got a nice flight, comes up a little short. I was talking to him about it. I was curious why he didn't go with a fairway, and he said, "I know I can get a mid range there, and if I throw a fairway, I might throw it out the back." So I can't argue with that. The wind just kind of knocked it down.
Yeah, knowing that mid-range is just going to kind of hold to the right the whole time and not fade out too is definitely a good option. And you throw a beauty of an upshot, but that one's super close.
Dylan seems to be going with his zone here.
Yeah, wind's kind of wind was taking that one a little left. Might have been into some trouble, but catches that one tree, and that'll leave him with a putt. So Nate now just trying to get up and down for the par. Catches that same tree, but that tree's only about 20 feet or so, so not the worst thing ever. This is a scary putt, though, on the elevated basket into a headwind, and Dylan just gets the nose down, and that putt just gets slammed to the ground. Nathan now to save his par, and his putt gets lifted.
Man.
Just the slightest differences in nose angle making a huge difference out here in this wind. Nice putt, though, from you to keep that one nice and flat, drive it into the chains.
Yeah, sometimes, when you're not sure what the wind's doing, I know it's tough to get yourself to do. Oh, no.
Oh, man, that's a little right, but still a really tough spit out.
Yeah, I was saying it might be tough to get yourself to do, but putting it a little bit harder might help you fight through it. But yeah, Dylan, that one you just think it's going to stay and just gets pushed out.
Yeah, just maybe a little lapse in focus there. Just lets it leak out on him.
Hole 11, sponsored by Central PA Disc Golf. This is a par 3, 261. The only real trouble is this gap off the tee, and for the most part, it's just mind games. Hit the gap and get the disc in the circle.
Yeah, it's close enough to the tee that you really shouldn't have to worry about it too much. I think most players are going to elect for a forehand if you've got it, just because of that right to left sloping hill. You can kind of just drive your disc into the ground and let it scoot up towards the basket like you've done there. Leave it a little short, but that's a good shot.
Yeah, a little bit shorter than I'd like, but happy to hit the gap.
Yep, here's Hammer. He's going to try to correct off your line, maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, he's throwing a little bit faster of a disc too. He's going with the fairway. I noticed that when he flicks, he usually flicks fairways, so he gets a little bit more distance than I do.
Yeah, a bit more of a flex line as opposed to the straight at it, but worked out for him.
Dylan with the zone, you can see, we all throw forehands, but we're all throwing different speeds. Just play your game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with, right? That's kind of the name of the game on this hole. It's that distance where you could probably throw any disc in your bag and get yourself a birdie putt, but which one is going to work for you on the day.
Right. We're wondering if we can get all 4 forehands. All right.
We do, and Nate's going with a little flexy line, comes back very nicely, and he's going to be the closest to the group.
Well done.
So it looks like Dylan's going to be up first here. Came up a bit higher on the hill, so he's got another downhill putt, maybe 28 feet or so, and just leaves it out left. The putt's just been a little off today for Dylan. Just doesn't quite have that confidence that you'd like to see in a final round. Just a bit high. That's a probably tailwind putt too. Just didn't quite get the drop.
Yeah, not happy about that, but.
So now Hammer coming back. He's able to grab the birdie. That'll pick up a stroke to bring it to 1.
Yeah, when I was stepping up to that putt, I know Hammer's going to hit that, and it's just like I really don't want to lose a stroke here, so don't leave it short. But good on Hammer to take advantage of my mistake and get within 1.
Yeah, well done, Dylan. He's able to clean up his par. Nathan's going to tap in the birdie. And yeah, it's kind of turning into a 2-horse race, at least on this card. We'll see. We'll see how the chase card's doing up here in a little bit, but a bit of a match play scenario.
Hole 12, sponsored by Home Again Disc Golf. This is a par 4, 426. There is a tight gap to hit off the tee, but once you do, it's a decently open upshot that is uphill.
Yeah, this is another one only at 426. As long as you kind of hit this gap and play something into the hill, you're going to have some way to get up there for the birdie. So Hammer, he's just throwing some backhand hyzer flip, scoots it up there, gets a nice skip, and that'll work out just fine.
Yeah, that's really all you want to do. And,
surprise, Nathan's going with the forehand, leaks out a little to the right, but once you're through the gap and past that little building over there on the right, it's pretty open, so it doesn't really matter if you fade out one way or the other. More just throw the disc you're comfortable hitting the gap with.
Yeah.
Not great. You kind of pulled it into that tree. Seen some disc sneak through, but looks like you caught a branch and dropped down into the right there. It's going to be a tricky scramble.
Here's Dylan looking to correct. And
it's just a little overturned. But
yeah, he gets over on it, but I mean, he's in the middle. It's not that far of a hole. He's got all the power in the world. He'll be all right.
Yeah, still a great shot. Definitely birdieable from there. I'm sure he's fine with you. Actually, just a little high.
Not good. Yeah, I was going for the green. I just didn't get it turned over at all. So I'm left with still a tricky upshot.
Yeah, quite a ways uphill. Definitely low ceiling, and as we'll see in a second here, this basket is high rise, and this is probably the windiest green on the course. At least that's what it felt like when I played the hole.
I'd agree.
So definitely want to put your upshot close. Nathan's going with the forehand, and it just catches those 2 guardians on the left-hand side. The right is definitely more open as you approach the green. So that's why Dylan is going to elect for the backhand here. Looks like a bird. Comes up a bit short, but That'll be a putt. Probably a headwind putt, I would think, as you have a lot of the wind coming up the hill off the water.
Yeah, Hammer here had a great drive, just a little pitch up, and catches it. Look at it. I mean, that's just wind, just blowing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a great shot, but yeah, it just gets on edge and stays there once the wind gets a hold of it. So now he's got a much longer putt than I'm sure he originally wanted. Nathan is going to run this. Maybe a little safer bid with that crosswind. Able to stay close.
Yeah, so windy. I try to give it a little floaty bid, and I'm not too upset. I mean, I'm upset with the bogey, but I made mistakes.
Right, yeah. And it could have been made a lot worse on this green. You definitely don't want a three putt. Hammer, though, wow, just puts it on the stripe. Straight headwind. That's a really great putt to pick up 2 strokes on you.
Yeah, just clutch. I mean, he didn't let the rollaway get in his head. He just steps up and does what Hammer does, and Dylan leaves it a little high.
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised we didn't see a lift like that when Hammer putted. But he's just such good spin control, such good nose angle control on that putt to Dylan just off right again. This screen is just so windy. You can't tell on camera because there's no flag on the basket, but that's such an impressive putt.
Right. I'll tell you what, though, the one thing that this course gives you are views. Look at that background. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful course.
Yeah, so sick. If you haven't been to Codorus State Park and you live in Pennsylvania or Maryland, definitely worth a visit. There's 3 courses on the property, and it's a great place to come for disc golf.
Yeah, it was home of the Amateur Worlds, correct? Not too long ago.
2019.
Yeah.
As we check in on the scores, Hammer's got a 1-stroke lead over yourself and Lucas Oberholzer-Hess, making a push from the chase card to keep himself in contention, so we'll make sure to keep an eye on that the rest of the round.
Yeah, hole 13, sponsored by Daddy Disc Golf Supply. This is a par 3, 364. There is a pretty hefty headwind / right to left. I'd say more headwind. And you got to pump this one because the basket's off to the left. And
yeah, it's on first look, it just, wow, what a shot from Hammer. Leaks it a little deep, but not a problem because he'll have a tail cross kind of putt coming up. This hole plays really far in this wind. It's really important to make sure you're going to have to throw a super overstable disc, and getting that nose angle right to keep pushing forward is very tricky.
This just rolls out. It flexes out on the roll. Tough, just a tough shot for a forehand in the wind.
Yeah, with the wind and the slope, and just definitely not a forehand hole. What are you going with here?
So this is that super overstable nitro that I have, and telling myself just pump it out there, and hopefully the wind will push it. And
you definitely want to make sure you give it enough width.
Yeah, I was kind of upset. I was that it didn't get that much of a push, but I still have a putt.
Yeah, you got a putt. It's going to be a scary putt, but it's all you can ask for on this hole. It's just in this wind. Anything inside the circle is good.
Dylan throwing. I'm pretty sure that's a max. He has a bunch of those in his bag, and I can see why. He knows what to do with them.
Yeah, he's got plenty of power where he can just throw a super overstable disc and play lawn darts there. Nice up shot there from Nathan to make sure to secure his par. And what is this? Probably a right to left wind on your putt here.
I don't really remember. I just remember saying, give it
oh my gosh, just off the cage and then off the chains. Great bid.
I know Matt's a good putter, and I felt like I didn't want to lose another one to him. So here's Matt to pick up another stroke, and he delivers.
Such a good putt. In this wind, man, he's just on the stripe. He's locked in. There's no other way to describe it.
Dylan almost lets that one low, but he gets it to drop. That's a nice bounce back birdie from him.
Yeah, definitely a nice birdie to get. He's still fighting to get a top 10 finish, so don't want to leak any more strokes.
Not at all. Hole 14, sponsored by ND Sites. This is a par 3, 492. It is a peninsula green. You can see the road, and beyond plays OB. And with the wind, I mean, almost, I don't want to say forget about the birdie, but forget about it.
It was straight headwind. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so hard. This did play as the hardest hole on the course at 3.36 strokes over par.
Yeah, it's a really good play by Hammer. He was not going for it. He knows where he is right now, and he puts it pretty much in the center. So good on him.
Yeah, nice shot. You just take your overstable disc, kind of put it out to the right. Or if you're Dylan, go straight at it. This is probably going to leak, though, and this could find the road if he's not careful.
Good checkup. It's a good checkup.
Yeah. The danger here comes in if you do choose to get aggressive, right? If you play this safe, keep it in the middle, keep it low, it should be a pretty stress-free par. But if you get aggressive with this headwind, that's when you can get into some trouble.
Yeah, you can see I'm still wondering what the wind's doing. In my mind, I'm like, you need to try and get the birdie. You know you can, but I just kind of like checked up on it, and my body was like, don't do it. I can't even. Can you see? There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just get your par and move on.
Yeah. We might see. Yeah, I would be surprised to see anybody run these long looks, but you never know. Dylan's been first 2 rounds, if you haven't seen it, Dylan's been getting aggressive and has done pretty well at it. So
It's true.
we'll see. Maybe 60, 70 footer for you, but a tree right in the way.
I think it's a little longer than that.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, maybe closer to 100.
Yeah.
Just lay it up.
Happy with that. Don't want to have a putt in the wind and going into a stretch where you can get every single birdie. So don't want to take a stupid bogey.
Yeah, just lay it up, put it close. Hammer's going to do the same, put his under the basket. Let's see where Dylan ended up. And maybe a runnable putt here. It's pretty long, though. No, he doesn't want any part of it.
Nah.
All right, so as they tap out, there was one birdie on the day. You want to guess who it was?
Oh, tell me it's you.
Yes, it was. Hit a circle 2 putt for the bird.
Nice, dude. What'd you throw?
Off the tee, I went with my super overstable Calvin Destroyer. Just hung it out wide, and I got a nice wind lull for my 40-footer, so I was able to connect.
Nice, very nice. Stroke on the field.
For sure. All right, so let's take a look at the scores. Hey, I know that guy in 4th place. Hammer's got a 2-stroke lead now, though, through 14 holes. Myself and Lucas on the chase card. We're trying to make a push, but we know we are going to need a little help coming here down the stretch.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game, and this is hole 15, sponsored by Gripper and Ripper. Plays as an island, as you can see. Very, very awesome built-up hole. But if you don't land in it, it plays as a hazard. So there's no drop zone. You just putt from where you are, and with a penalty stroke. So Hammer throws that mid that he loves so much, or
wow,
yeah, dude,
what a break! Skips off of the stone wall and stays inbounds an inch lower, and that's OB, and he's got a 35-footer for par.
Yeah, that looked like it slipped out of his hand a little bit.
Yeah, and especially these last 4 holes, we've kind of got a swirly wind, so it's really tricky to kind of predict what it's going to do to your disc, and that kind of just makes this island hole even more stressful.
Yeah, this plays great for the spike forehand, and Nathan executes it, textbook.
Yeah, really well done there to keep his shot close. What are you going for? Straight backhand?
Yeah, during practice, I was throwing a proxy or a hex, and there was a little bit of a headwind, so I kind of went more overstable with a reactor. And you can see I got the nose up a bit, and I thought it was there, and it's just
a bit short. Yeah, so you'll have a makeable putt just at the edge of the circle. I believe the island is the size of circle 1. So Dylan's coming in about 45 on that putt. Just doesn't quite commit to it. So yeah, you're probably sitting around, 35 feet? 33 on the edge.
Yeah, something like that. And, knowing where the scores are at, I pretty much know that if I want any chance, this has to go in.
Yeah, with Hammer as close as he is, this is a 2-stroke swing if you don't connect here. And you do. That's a huge par save to keep yourself at 21 under par. and at worst a 3-stroke deficit with 3 holes to play.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, I need to birdie out, and I need Matt to pretty much mess up. So,
Yeah, all 3 of these final holes are very gettable. But at the same time, with a lead in an A tier, there's no such thing as a gimme. The nerves are definitely going to come into play. So, it's definitely not over.
especially with the wind.
For sure. So, yeah, here's Hammer for his birdie from about 10 feet. Make sure to take his time and put it on the pole, and he does. So 24 under par for your leader with 3 to go.
Hole 16, sponsored by Niche Bags. This is a par 3, 249, slightly uphill. The green slopes a little bit left to right, and parking lot OB to the right. Shouldn't really come into play, but Hammer going with a putter here.
Yep, just straight at it, not too much in the way. Just want to make sure you throw something overstable enough to not leak out like this. And not a terrible shot. He's still going to have a putt, but definitely not the putt he wanted, I'm sure, on this hole.
No, you can kind of see off Nathan's shirt. I think it's a slight headwind. Nathan beefs up, and he's going to find himself over with Matt.
Yeah, it's just that's a tough. I've seen multiple people throw the 4-iron on this hole. It's just really tough to keep it close with that left to right slope. I think the straight back end is definitely the play, and just kind of drive something into the hill and let it scoot up there, which it looks like you're trying to do.
Yeah, so I saw those 2 guys, and I beefed up to an entropy, and I wish I would have stuck with my regular play, but I still have a putt, just not as close as I'd like it to be.
Yeah, a little bit short, but still a putt nonetheless. Let's see if Dylan looks like was that an NV maybe? Something like
I believe so.
Full putter? Yeah.
Eclipse Envy. And
Yep,
usually
just going
it's stable enough, but this one kind of gets away.
Yeah, kind of just threw it flat out of the hand. Maybe wanted it to come out on a little hyzer. Never quite has a chance to finish. So we're going to have 3 guys over here in these leaves putting back uphill. Nathan up first, and he's able to connect. Wow, what a putt.
Yeah, floats it in there. That was awesome to watch.
Yeah, into a headwind. Super smooth uphill spinner, 40 feet. That's a great birdie.
Matt trying to get another stroke.
Yeah, this almost seals the deal if he's able to connect on this putt. Just a bit high, kind of floated on him.
Yeah, it was a good confident run. He's not a scared run. It's uphill putt, so good to see that though. And
Kind of the same mistake there from Dylan. Just gets the nose up and never really has a chance to push into the chains, kind of stalls it out. So you got a chance to pick up a stroke here from maybe circle's edge, just inside of it.
yeah, I think you're right, circle's edge, and I know I have to make this if I want any sort of a chance.
Just didn't quite commit. Leaves it a little low off the cage.
I just, you hate to leave it low. In that situation, you just tell yourself, give it a chance. If you miss high, you miss high. But that's the only thing I'm really disappointed about in that putt.
Yeah, tough break, and that's definitely deflating. Knowing that now the deficit is 3 strokes with 2 holes to play. It's gonna take a big blunder from Matt, especially with these final 2 holes not being nearly the 2 most difficult holes on this course.
Absolutely. One of the easier holes on the course is hole 17. This is a par 3, 333 feet, just wide open. I mean, I believe for Worlds they chopped this hole up and made it 17 and 18, but this is just you throw it and get it. You see Nathan kind of turns it over. That's kind of been his mistake of the day, and Matt's looking to put this away, with a birdie.
Yeah, a birdie here gives him a great chance to win this thing. Pretty strong right to left wind, I believe, on this hole. So just wants to make sure he swings it out nice and wide, let the wind bring it back.
Which he
Definitely has the width.
Anti-skip. He wasn't counting on that anti-skip, and it leaves him a tester.
Yeah, kind of a weird reaction there. And I unfortunate, but he'll still have a putt, still give himself a chance. See if you're able to correct maybe a little lower line or slightly more direct. Still give it some good width.
Yeah, I think I threw a little bit more of an overstable disc than he did, and just to fight that wind, and happy with the result.
Yeah, nice shot from you. Put yourself around 15 feet. Dylan, he likes the forehand. I don't hate the forehand play here. I mean, you kind of go more straight at the basket with the forehand in the wind. And Dylan has all the power in the world, so shouldn't be too difficult to get there. And yeah, great shot. All right, so Nathan will be up first after turning his drive over. Probably about a 60-footer or so. Really good effort. His spin putt it kind of looks a little wonky, but like it just comes out so clean. So now here's Hammer, just outside the circle to get to 25 under. Just a bit low. Tailwind might have dropped it. Maybe didn't quite commit as much as he would have liked to.
Yeah, and he knows, as you'll see very soon, what that putt is for. And the rest of us are going to clean up, but hole 18 is going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, definitely gonna. I promised you guys an exciting finish at the end of round two's coverage, and I wasn't lying. Even though this card is still a two-stroke deficit for yourself, it's still going to be quite an exciting finish in terms of the overall scope of this tournament. So good birdie for you, good birdie for Dylan. We're going to have a tap-in par here for Nathan, and we're going to take a quick score check-in here before we jump into our last hole. And that's right, folks. It's tied at the top. So myself and Lucas, we are finished. We started on hole 2. We're done. Lucas is in the clubhouse at 24 under par, tied with Matt for the lead. So if Hammer is able to get the birdie on 18, he will be your White Rose Open champion.
Yes, and this is probably the easiest hole on the course. Hole 18, par 3, 237. You can flick it, you can backhand it. I'm choosing to throw my pyro on the left side and just kind of skip it in. So Hammer knows what he has to do, and everyone is watching, so you have that extra added pressure.
Yeah, definitely some pressure here, even though this is a dinker. Easy, like you said, this is the easiest hole on the course at 2.38 scoring average. So almost all the whole field, more than 2/3 of the field is taking a birdie here. You and Dylan, nicely done. Just chip a forehand around the corner. You can kind of aim for that electrical box and just slide it up to the basket.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, we all do our job. And
all right, so here's Hammer. At this point, you got to think he knows he needs this birdie, right?
Oh yeah, I mean everyone's come to watch. He knew it on the last hole. He said, "I just got to get one of these two." So here we go.
Lines up the forehand. This is a little wider than you'd like, but he's going to get some ground play. Scoots just probably circle's edge long, not the putt that he would have liked to see for the win here. So about 35 feet, headwind putt. It's going to be tricky.
Absolutely. There's wind and you can't see it, but literally everybody's watching. So
yeah, quite a big gallery. This is one of the last cards to finish. So all the pressure in the world for Matt Hammersten. He's got this 35-footer to win the White Rose Open. Bang. On the stripe, you can tell from that fist pump, he knew what that putt was worth.
Yep.
Just like he's been doing all tournament, Matt Hammersten comes up with the clutch birdie putt. This one is for the win.
Yeah, man. I mean, just ice in his veins, dude. Like, everyone could feel the tension. You could see Lucas gives him a hug. Everyone, just great competitors. What a fun tournament and beautiful day. And congratulations, Matt.
Yeah, super well done. Super consistent play throughout all 3 rounds. Congratulations to yourself. That putt right there was to give you sole 3rd place and cost me about $100, but no, well done.
Really fun, really fun tournament.
Yeah, again, congratulations, Matt Hammersten, your 2023 White Rose Open champion. Super consistent, very fun to watch him. That little scoot off of the stone on hole 15 was a nice break. Take a look at the rest of the top 10.
Yeah, congratulations everybody in the top 10. We had a pretty good field and just a lot of fun.
Yeah, super fun tournament. Thank you to our supporting sponsor, the Norse Gods. Thank you to the Patreon family for making this all possible. And yeah, thanks to you, Dan. Thanks for joining me in the booth. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a really good time, so hope to do it again.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back again soon. For the rest of you all, I've been Nathan Johnson. Thanks also on behalf of Dan Brooks Wells. Make sure to subscribe to HyzerMedia for more tournaments coming in the future.
Later, guys.